here a couple of our current students, our Business Analytics Leadership Council members, and I also have our program manager, Sylvia Leventhal. So if you have any questions, after I quickly go through a short set of slides, I'm going to tell you to ask your questions. If you have something that while I'm speaking that you feel you have a question, you can either raise your hand. I may not see you while I'm presenting in slideshow mode, but you can also put a question in chat and somebody will answer your question. And you'll have plenty of time to ask us questions. Okay, this is not me presenting. This is more giving you some information, but allowing you to ask questions. So the first thing is that if you have not accepted the admission, it is free. You don't have to pay any money accepting admission. Please go and accept your admission because that will give you the opportunity to see when you can enroll for the classes. This is specifically this webinar is for students who are joining us in spring 2026. The classes start on January 20th, the Tuesday. Your orientation, if you are an international student, there are two mandatory orientation, one with our ISSO regarding your F1 student status. The other one is for everybody, whether you're international or domestic students. You will have our JSOM, or Jindal School of Management orientation, and your program orientation. That will be different than this one, okay? We can always give you additional information towards the end. So if you see a hold in your account while you are looking at your things, it could be related to your TB test. In that case, anything health-related hold, you need to directly email or contact somebody in the student health center. I will show you after this slide those sites so you are familiar with our websites in there. So there could be three different kind of holds, right? One could be most likely that because most of you we have not received your official transcript, because when you applied for admission, you put in your unofficial transcript. The official has to come from your university. So sometimes we put a hold on it, but typically the hold is removed so that you can register for your first semester classes when it's time for your enrollment. Okay, but if you see a hold and you cannot register for classes, the best team to email is jsomgradadvising@UT-Dallas. They're the ones who can remove that hold. Can just give them a screenshot of yours and just ask them to remove the hold. If you have any health center holds, that's like the TB or anything like that, then please email healthsen@utdallas.edu. You don't need to include all these three emails in everything that you send. Just kind of try to focus in on what kind of hold you have. If you don't know what the hold is about, you can certainly email admission@utdallas.edu. If there are any other holds, I'm almost thinking that if there was a hold related to a recommendation letter that we got and we needed you to submit it again or something like that. Very seldom. Most likely the holds that we see are the first two. So what are the recommended first semester courses? Okay, I'm going to say if you're a full-time student, and most international students has to be a full-time student, then you are taking 9 credits. That's your minimum requirement. I know some of you may have the tech background and may want to take 12 credits. That's totally up to you. As a program director and having done multiple graduate courses, I am going to say the first semester, if you have never studied in a US university, take only 3 courses or 9 credits. Okay. So you are free to take any elective courses or any course for that matter that does not have a prerequisite, because you want to do your prerequisites first before you do any other courses. That's part of the requirement. Okay. So ideally, I would say when you're taking the 3 courses, 2 core courses and 1 elective, and then you'll have the mandatory professional development, which is a 1 credit course. Okay. So the 2 courses that the core courses that we recommend to all incoming fresh students are taking the Buon 6320 and Buon 6359, which is one is database foundation and the other one is advanced statistics. So how do you look and see whether a course had a prerequisite or not? So there are 2 kinds of requisites. One is prerequisite, as the word says, prerequisites, you have to take them first, then only the subsequent semester you can take that course that you are looking to take. Co-requisites, meaning you can take both the courses during the same semester. Okay, so just check on that part of it if you go anything beyond the 2 courses that I mentioned. So how do you look at courses? Right now, the course book is open to all of you. You can all see it, and I'll show it to you live also. Typically, there are 3 different modalities, okay? If you have, again, I would emphasize this, if you're a flex student, MSBA&AI flex student, there are all these courses have in-person class. Try to take that. Again, because you want to get used to the campus. You want to know about the resources. If you take online classes, you are not going to be able to do that. Okay, you wouldn't know something that happens on campus. So if you see as .0W1 like this as a section number, that tells you, and then you look in here, it says no meeting room, meaning this is an online asynchronous class, meaning you take the class at your own time. There are recordings, and you can take a test, quiz, whatever assignments, all of them are online. You manage your time. Nobody is looking at you at that point. And if you happen to take any of those courses, I will tell you the first thing you should do is read your syllabus. Even print a copy and underline, highlight, and keep it. Okay. The traditional classes are the one that will have the day, the time, and the room number. Okay, so that tells you that it's an in-person class. Okay. Then you will see online synchronous. So that will also have a W in there, but in that case, it'll show you a day and a time, but there's no meeting room, meaning you have to log in from wherever you are on Wednesday at 7 p.m., log into the class, have your camera on, and the instructor will teach you. Okay, those classes are not recorded. Most of the time they are not recorded. Okay, so you need to attend that live section for you to get the materials in there. Okay, so those are the 3 typical modalities that you will find. Going back to 2 different, like domestic students or international student, you can actually take, and this applies to both, you can take any of the available courses, just look and see whether there's a prerequisite or a co-requisite. Full-time means 9 credits. The professional development course for domestic students, because you have worked in US, you can request a waiver for that. Okay, and you can find the waiver form online as well for you to complete. Anybody who has worked before but not in US, I'm going to tell you, you should take the MAS 6102, because that is conducted by JSOM's Career Management Center. So you will have directions on how to do your resume, your cover letter, your interview prep, your networking. JSOM CMC has a lot of resources, and they have industry experts, hiring managers, and recruiters coming in, so you can be plugged in into that. Okay. If you have a course that is a prerequisite, like it's in your admission letter, okay? If a course like that is listed, you have to take it during your first semester, and you cannot waive that course, and then it will not count towards your 36 credits. Okay. Same goes for international students, but with the condition that for international students, you have to register for 9 credits. That's a requirement. If you're a domestic student, you can take 2 courses, 1 course. That's entirely up to you. Okay. If you want to see your academic calendar, it's online. Okay, so I'm going to say, again, that's one of the additional to your syllabus is that's probably something, it's a 2-page calendar, something for you to print and keep. It's easy, available at your disposal. If you want to look at the payment deadline, now I'm telling you this because regarding your payment and things like that, from the program, Sivia or myself, we do not have access to that part of it. So you have to deal with if you have a question regarding your payments or when it has to be paid. Okay, that's specific to you. The catalog for the program is available. And again, I'll show you that shortly. We also have certificates. Now, you don't have to worry about the certificates at this point because you're just going to register, enroll for the classes. When you come for orientation before the semester starts, on that day, I'll go a little bit further on the certificates. But this is just to tell you there are some certificates that the only thing you have to do is apply for them because those are courses you will automatically take and then you're qualified to get the certificate. The caveat here is that you do not get a certificate by default. You have to apply for those certificates and you have to apply for that certificate. The rule is before you take the last course in that certificate. Okay. And then the other part that I want to say is that follow us on our social media. There's a lot of events that we advertise. It's both in LinkedIn and Instagram. We also have an official Telegram group. If you are from India, then we have Indian Students Association that can help guide you if you have some other questions. There are almost 400 student organization in UTD. Out of that, you will at least find 60 to 70 in JSOM itself. So the typical questions students ask: which courses to take? I just told you 2 of the courses you should take is Buwan 6320 and Buwan 6359, database and statistics. They are needed for a lot of courses. Okay. Which professors to take? I will tell you, JSOM, we have all the professors are good. We vet them, we interview them, and the leadership hired them, right? So just because one professor did not work for one student doesn't mean that professor is not going to work for you. I have had students where sometimes students have given me feedback about a particular instructor, and then another set of students come back and tell me how wonderful that professor was. So the base I would tell you is look at the syllabus, compare the syllabus. What is it? What are they teaching? Because we tell you 80% of those material is going to be the same, okay? Because the course has a course description. Everybody has to follow that. The 20%, it's based on that instructor, what they are sharing and how many exams. Those are all varied from class to class. Some instructors like after each chapter, do a quiz. So you're fresh in your knowledge. And other ones may only give you a midterm and a final. So then now you may think, oh, I only have 2 exams. But then if you don't fare well in one, it's going to affect your grade, right? So and the number of assignments. One thing I want to say is that A lot of students may feel they don't want group work. Well, welcome to the world. Group work is essential. In industry, because I came from industry, collaboration is key. We look at you whether you are able to collaborate while interviewing, whether you're able to collaborate with other people. Okay, so be ready to do group work. The other question we get, and we even get it from our second semester student, is do I need to complete all core courses first? The answer is no. Other than taking those two first courses that I talked about, the rest is entirely up to you. I would say mix and match, maybe one semester take 2 core and 1 elective, another one take 1 core and 2 electives. You basically have 6 core courses and 6 electives to choose from. And because you're in the flex program, you have 80 plus electives that you have the choice to take. You can, in terms of, can you take the courses outside of the MSBA&AI program? If you look in our curriculum, you will see that there are some courses in our, like, for example, healthcare analytics track, that's from the healthcare department, which is within JSOM. So if you look at the curriculum and if a course is there in that curriculum, it's part of the MSBA&AI program. If you have something that you want to take, let's say outside of JSOM, in another department, let's say computer science department, okay? As long as that course relates to your major, I will approve it. If you come and tell me I want to take an arts class, no, I'm not going to approve that one. Okay, so you're allowed to take 2 courses outside of JSOM, but those 2 courses has to reflect into the program that you're doing. The criteria for graduation is 36 credits, not counting your the prerequisite course that was included in your admission. If you had any, majority probably won't have any prerequisite. The prerequisite is if you have never done, if your transcript did not show that you had done calculus in your undergraduate, that's probably when it shows up, okay? You have to have a minimum 3.0 GPA in your core courses. You also, your overall GPA has to be a minimum of 3.0. There's also a requirement for either an internship. If you don't get an internship during your program, then you have a course called Analytics Practicum that you can take that satisfies that requirement. Okay. Other question I get is how soon can you finish the program? Well, sometimes there are highly motivated, highly driven students who probably try to finish it in 1 year, 3 semesters, okay? But that's partly because they don't intend to work in US, they're going back to their home country. So they don't really need to network, attend, career fair or all of them. They came prepared. They just want that degree and go back. So that's possible. Will I tell you go take 6 courses in a semester? No, absolutely no. 4 is okay. 5 is stretching it because these are graduate courses that require you to find the time to apply it. You and I both have only 24 hours. You don't have any second more than I have. It takes time. Okay. If you're a group project, it takes time to meet with those people. You're trying to find an internship. It takes time to network with people, go for the career fair, prepare your resume, practice networking. So it's totally dependent on you, but I would say anywhere from 18 to 24 months is ideal. And majority of our students is 24 months. And the last question that typically I get is, when can I start an internship? If you are an international student, you have to complete 2 long semesters. So that long semesters are spring and fall. So if you're starting in spring 2026, the earliest you can intern is spring of 2027. If you're a domestic student, then there's a requirement of the number of credits you complete. before you can get an internship. There are sometimes students who currently have a job. If you have a job that is related to analytics, then talk to me. I'll tell you how to do a special project or do something different. If you do not have a analytics related project job, and I do have in my current class of the analytics practicum, there are a handful of students who have a full-time job but they're not doing analytics roles. They come for the practicum class, so that because they don't want to do an additional project at their workplace, and they find it valuable to come to the practicum class so that they get connected with industry hiring managers and experts rather than just doing a project in their own domain in there. Okay. So the basic part of it is that any internship that you get, it has to be analytics related. Okay. Now, one thing that I'm going to tell you all as a bonus for you all, if you are one of those people who do not have tech background or knows a little bit but don't know, like, R, Python, SQL, and you want to get, because you have now another 2 months to prepare, or almost 3 months to prepare before your semester starts, right? If you need, so all our REMS incoming students, once they are on campus, I give them access to Data Camp Pro. However, I'm willing to give you that access, provided after you enroll in classes, send me an email, sunela.thomas@utdallas.edu. Email me with your net ID, okay? And I will give you access. I will add you to the Data Camp Pro so that you can start preparing for your, spring semester already. Okay. So again, the two folks in the program that you should be near and dear familiar is, one is myself and the other one is Sylvia. She's also on the call. You can email us. You can come. When you come on campus, you can come and visit us. We are both in the JSON 1 building on 3rd floor. You can, if you have general questions, you can email the MSBA&AI email address that one of us will look and get back to you on it. Okay. So I want to just share a couple of websites, and then I will let you ask me questions. Okay. So this is your health center website that you can look in there. They have, if you want to schedule an appointment, all of that is in there. They have appointment buttons. If you have questions on once, and you would need, in terms of visiting the Academic Advising Center, that they are on the 2nd floor of the JSON 1 building. If you have anything specific, like, for example, hey, I'm trying to enroll and I'm not able to enroll, they are the ones who can help you enroll in those classes, provided you're not trying to register for a course that you're not eligible for, meaning either the prerequisite, or the other one is that do not try to register for anything that starts with a .s or in the section number, and I'll show you what they are. Okay. Here is one where you can go to Orion, and that is where you're going to see your enrollment appointment, meaning nobody is meeting up with you. You don't have to join any call or anything. That is when you can start actually enrolling for your courses. So typically the course book is available to everybody right now. We give students the chance to look and decide what courses they want to take. And then the first day of registration is November 3rd, and that goes, the first set of folks who get to register are all the students who are in their final semester. Next one would be who are in their 3rd semester. Then it will be like the 2nd semester. You are incoming students, so you get the last batch of it. Okay, so it clearly, like, let's say you got an appointment that says Monday, November 10th, 9 a.m. Doesn't mean you have to register at 9 a.m. Anytime after 9 a.m., you can register and enroll for the classes. Okay. So let me see. Let me just close these. So course book, the best way to look at course book is right now it's default to spring. You put in Buon and then click search, okay? Do not put in here special classes, because if you do special classes, it may show you the cohort classes which you are not eligible to register, okay? Then scroll down, anything that starts with 6 is graduate courses. So it starts with 6 to 312, right? So you can, if you look at 6 to 320, there are different instructors and different time. You decide, all the instructors are good. You decide what class that you want, okay? So this is where every semester, this is your page that you will go and figure out what you want. Now, there are 2 courses that are new. They ran as last spring as so the spring and the fall, they're running as special topics. And in spring of 26, they have their own course number. We noticed that the students are interested in those courses. They're very relevant in this AI world. And neither of them have prerequisite. One is the applied LLMs, which will be soon called applied AI. And then the other one is AI in business. Okay. So these courses are available. Those are elective courses, and you will be able to register for them. The other website you should be familiar with is the ISSO website. Like if you have any question, you as an international student, you have specific question, you didn't get your I-20, whatever that may be, they're the people that you can reach out to. Okay. All right. Any questions for me? And then Sivi, I don't know whether you can just share the website link for the students who can watch the recording of the JSOM webinar if they didn't attend or something like that.
It's not updated yet.
Okay, but give
But
them the
I will
link.
put it, so it was the link that was in the email I sent with the invitation. I will put it here in the chat. It just is still showing the JSOM fall summer 25.
Okay.
I was told it would be updated, but that is also the website where I will have this webinar's recording posted, so you can go back and watch it again if you have questions or need to revisit something.
Yeah, and I think partly it's because everybody is working on the AI day next week.
Yes.
I think that's what we are stretched thin at this point.
Yes.
That maybe.
But the truth is, the information, while they might be talking about fall and summer, the general information on how you register, where you go to register, where you go to see your enrollment appointment is still valid and accurate. So you can still watch that and get a lot of information. They will just be talking about fall instead of spring.
Okay, I do have some, as I mentioned, some students from the current program. So if you have any specific question, they will be glad to answer it too.
I do have a question.
Sure.
So I actually have some credits already from another master's program. One of them specifically is a database class. So am I able to see if that's able to like transfer over or anything, or who do I talk to about that?
Okay, so is that a graduate program you said?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so if you go to, and I'll give you, post the website in here.
Well, first, when did you take that class?
I want to say it was probably 2023.
Okay.
Like summer.
Okay, because graduate credits expire after 6 years. So
Okay.
as long as you will complete this master's program before the 6-year expiration of that class, then if it is approved to be transferred in, then you would be fine.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm posting the link where you can find the waiver form.
Okay, got it. So I have to apply for it?
Yes, you have to apply for it.
Okay, gotcha.
And I am going to tell you that assuming that it will be approved, but at the same time, you may want to put register for the class because that's a required class, and then you can drop it before the start of the semester.
Okay, got it. And then I had a few more questions,
Mhm.
just hopefully really quick ones.
Mhm.
So for that waiver for not taking the professional development course for domestic students,
Mhm.
um, is it a waiver to not take it the first semester, or is it a waiver to just not take the course at all?
It's a waiver to not take it at all.
Ah, okay, I see. Um, And then my other question is, so I just want to make sure, OPRE 6303, the qualitative class. So I do not have it listed on my admission letter, so I just want to make sure. So that means that I
Yeah,
do not have to take this course then, right?
correct.
Okay. And then the last question I have is, so I'm part of the Flex course. So I
Mhm.
know that you can determine a track like the data science track, the health track, or finance track. And I know I think I spoke to someone, I don't remember who it was, but they said that we can mix and match the courses
Correct.
from, okay, but then
Correct.
uh
Go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. So how do we determine like what track we are? So like let's say I want to be in the finance track. Does that
Okay.
mean that I have to take a specific amount of finance electives or
Okay. So just to answer a general question, in your track, the track is nowhere put, whether in your diploma or in your transcript. Therefore, you decide which course you want to take. We are telling you that, let's say you want to be a financial analyst, and therefore here are the finance set of courses that will help you get to be master in finance. Okay. But nobody knows that that's your track because it's not in your diploma or in your transcript.
I see.
or anywhere in your account that anyone sees. So when prospective students ask me, well, how many students get, what kinds of jobs do students in the healthcare analytics track get? We don't have that data because we don't ever log that you are in this track and Natasha's in that track and Angel's in this track, because the tracks are just there so that if you know you want to take financial analytics classes, you don't have to go through 80 classes to find them. That you can just go to that track and see which electives are listed under it. But you can pick and choose your electives from as many or as few tracks as you want. And no one in the Flex program will ever ask you, what track are you in?
Mhm. Okay,
Because
got it. Thank you.
99% of the time students are not in a track. That's the beauty of the flex program. You
Mhm.
can take courses across multiple track. Therefore, when you're looking for a job or an internship, you have more flexibility.
Okay, I see. Thank y'all again.
You're welcome. Asher, I see that. So no, if you have 6303 mentioned in your admission letter, that is included in your 9 credits that you have to enroll in as a full-time F1 student. Okay. The main part is that 6303, the 3 credits, is not counted towards your 36 credits. So to answer, you do not have to then take 6303 and 3 other courses. You say 6303 and take 2 other courses. And I'm going to say that most likely you will not take stats. Instead, I would say take another elective on it. Okay, I think I see that Daniel has a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, good morning. I wanted to
Mhm.
ask that to submit my transcript and my certificate, do I have to submit the hard copy or can my school email the transcript and certificate to you?
Okay, so if you're asking me the question on official transcript has to come directly from your university. If you are bringing them a physical copy, then you have to bring in a sealed envelope that is sealed by the university. And you can walk in and give it to the registrar's office the first day you're on campus. if you are submit at the school, the university that you graduated from for your undergraduate, they can also directly email the transcript.
Okay.
It's
But what email do they send it to just to like get the information?
the email,
It's
Yeah.
admission. I put it in the chat.
yeah,
Okay.
admission@utdallas.edu.
Thank you.
Samuel, you have a question?
Yes, I do. On a related topic, one of the
Mhm.
holds on my account requires that I submit my I-94. Now, can I email that, or do I have to bring in a physical copy of it, print it out, or how do I send that over?
I think that would be emailing it to a copy of it to admission. Then you can ask them while you email, because that is not something, your I-94 is not something that we handle. That is
Okay.
where you will, between the ISSO and admission, they have to tell you.
Okay, so do I email to them first and then
Yes.
find out if, okay, all right.
Yeah, you email admission first and ask.
So
Okay.
I can add on to that.
Okay,
I
go
think
ahead.
it has to be updated on the iCommit site. So go to iCommit and then you have to report your I-94 over there. So that's something that you have to do.
So what is the iCommit site, if you don't mind me asking?
So iCommit site is the site which is basically where you interact with ISSO. That's where you can apply for your I-20. That's where you must have done it. And it's the same site where you're basically processing all your visa documents.
Hmm.
So it's the same site where you applied for your I-20. So you must see
Oh.
an option for reporting your I-94 over there.
Okay, I'll take a. I just saw the link there. I'll take
I
a look
put
at
the
it.
link there.
and-
The
yeah.
other option is you can email ISSO perspective, and I'm putting that in the chat as well.
Okay.
And they're the only office you should ask questions at all related to visa status too.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, what question in there? I think there was another question in the chat. Okay, what was the question? The calculus presbytery. Yeah, but you're taking only this or the other two courses. Okay, the calculus. So as long as the 6320 does not require calculus prerequisite. So you would just take your prerequisite and the two courses. The other one is,
That's all done
the
through Galaxy.
Okay, now what was the website for accepting admission? Somebody want to answer that? Because I would not be able to show
No,
that.
it's all done. It's all done through Galaxy.
So Orion, Galaxy, these are all the same things. So if you just say UTD Orion or UTD Galaxy, you can see it. Anything else? Any other question? And I told you I'll also share the catalog information for the program, so you have that. And then I'll also share with you the calendar, because that is important as well. Because right now when you go, the current is fall 25, so you have to scroll down and look for the next semester. Okay.
Question. Can I
Any
email
question?
them? Sorry to interrupt. Can
Go
I
ahead.
can I email them through my personal email, or does it have to be through the UTD email?
UTD.
Okay.
If you email any office from your personal email, they will ask you to send the email again from your UTD email.
Okay. Got it.
Any question? Any other question? I'll also put my email address. I said if you want the Data Camp Pro account after you enroll for classes, then email me with your net ID. Okay, I do not know the answer to this question, Natasha.
Technically, I think it's probably the business day, the business day before the semester begins. But there's no reason to wait until then, because as Professor Thomas said at the beginning, there's no fee required to accept your admission. So if you accept your admission and life happens and you don't come, as long as you withdraw from any classes you may have registered for, there will be no financial impact on a bill. If you accept your admission and enroll in classes and don't unenroll from those classes, then you will have a bill. But if you accept your admission and over the next 2 or 3 months decide that you can't come, don't want to come, aren't able to come, whatever happens, there's nothing bad happens for having accepted your admission. Matriculated means you accepted your admission.
Any other question?
Sorry, can I have some question?
Sure.
I have some question for registration. Is that necessary? I need to finish my to-do list after. How can I registration before I accept this admission?
I did not follow your question. Can you please repeat it?
Sorry, give me some time.
Okay. So, Shahid, the deadline for enrollment of courses is before the semester starts. The reason I always say is that enroll when your enrollment time opens up is then you have the best chance of getting the courses at the time you want to take the classes.
And you can see on the academic calendar what the last day is for regular registration. If you enroll beyond that last date, there is a late registration fee added. So that's why the academic calendar is a really useful resource to have bookmarked.
So the two courses that I said was one is Buon 6320 and Buon 6359. Beyond that, if you look, two places you can look. One, the course book that I opened up and showed you. You scroll down where the 6000 series starts, all those courses in there under Buon, you're eligible to take. But you're also eligible to take certain courses under MIS. So the best way to check on that would be looking at the curriculum. That website also I posted earlier. So look in that and that'll give you the whole list of courses.
Can one of the Leadership Council students explain how to access your UTD email? And then Professor Thomas spoke earlier about if you have a hold from the School of Management, you email JSOM-GR advising, which I put that email address up earlier in the chat. But make sure you do that from your UTD email. And to be able to register, if you haven't completed everything on your to-do list, I'm not sure. That is probably a better question for a current student to answer about registering if your to-do list is not done and how to access UTD email.
I just want to answer Kai's question. I think by to-do list, he means about so when you admit you have different to-do lists, like submitting your official transcript and everything. So unless it's a hold, you don't have to finish that before registering. So just make sure that you have all your holds removed. You can do your to-do list once you're here in person, and then you can finish it.
And can you also, Nitesh, explain how to get to email?
Right. So to use your UTD email, I'm assuming you must have requested for a net ID, right?
No, you're given a net ID when you submit your application. All of
Right.
you should have a net ID that is the 3 letters DAL. So the first 3 letters of Dallas, and then a random string of numbers. People's numbers can start with 0 up to 9. But that net ID is your net ID, and that is okay. So everyone should already have that. Okay, now go ahead, Nitesh.
Yeah. So you must have your net ID and you must have assigned a password to it. So if you're done with those steps, what you have to do is just go to the web browser. I'm assuming this is your personal system. Go to your web browser, just simply search up like Outlook, and you can sign in using your net ID at the rate utdallas.edu. I'll just type out how it looks like. If you use that format and the password that you assigned to your net ID, you should be able to log into your Outlook. And at the first time, it's going to ask you for some permissions using the Duo Authenticator. So do set that up because it's a compulsory step to do. And I think then you should be able to access your email ID. I'll also send the link to Outlook.
Hi, I would recommend that you forward that email to msbuon@utdallas.edu, and Professor Thomas and I can take a look at it and see and answer you correctly. If you submitted your official transcript with your application, then you should not need to resubmit an official transcript. But you can also email that JSOM-GR advising email that we've put in the chat now multiple times, and ask them if your official transcripts are on file or if you still need to have official transcripts sent.
Anything else?
Go ahead, Daniel.
Hi. So I wanted to ask that how would I know if I qualify for the Texas residence tuition cut?
Are you asking if you qualify for Texas residency or if you received a scholarship?
Like, I want to know if I qualify for Texas residency.
So you need to go to the residency page because the program doesn't handle residency at all. You need to have been a Texas resident for at least a year with proof of an address and bills and a license potentially. But I can put in the chat. The link, you refer to the registrar's office residency FAQ is where I send students, and reach out to them if you have further questions. They verify whether you're a Texas resident, not the program.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, but it's not going to be anything beyond the $1,000. They don't give you anything extra. If you already are a Texas resident, there's not an additional award because you're a Texas resident. The scholarship provides non-Texas residents with residency tuition, but if a resident receives the scholarship, you'll receive the scholarship, which is $1,000 per semester for up to 2 semesters, but then that's it. But yes, you can absolutely still apply for the scholarship.
Anything else? We are here for another 8 minutes. So ask away your questions. And by the way, no question is stupid, okay? So if you have a question, ask away. We'll try to clarify. We know this is a lot of information, and we may be very familiar with the systems and the names. Like I say Orion, CV may say Galaxy, we both mean the same thing. So we'd rather have you ask us the question multiple times and we'll clarify. Angel, do you want to say, and I'm going to call upon you, do you want to say anything to the new students? Because Angel is in his first semester, right? Think I have the correct person, Angel Garcia?
Yes.
Yeah. You want
Yes.
to say something to the students?
Yeah, totally. I actually wanted to add, I know a lot of you guys are probably a little nervous or may even have some doubts. I had those same thoughts and feelings before this semester began as a prospective student. But I just wanted to reassure you that you have a lot of support from the staff and a lot of the other students. So it's a challenge. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy by any means. You do have to make sacrifices, but don't be discouraged. And if you guys ever need help, we're always here to help out as best as we can.
Thank you, Angel. And Radhi, do you want to say something? Because she's also here. She's also a new student.
Hello, everyone. I can actually touch upon this one thing which we haven't, and I think that is not something which we find on websites. I will touch upon something which has more to do with the kind of exposure and networking you get here once you are here. I know this is the second step, but the kind of events we have, the kind of people we meet, the kind of faculties we have, and the network we are exposed to, there's a lot of opportunity once you're here. So, despite the fact and the processes that you have to go through to get into the program. Once you're here, I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed. I won't say that it's going to come to you. There's a lot of information out there, but you have to take the time and the opportunity to synthesize it and use it in the right direction. See what activities fits well for you, what are the things which you would want to do, or where you can add value. Because like Ms. Sunela said, that there are like 40 councils and fraternities here. I'm pretty sure you can find at least two for yourself based on the activities and past experiences you have. And it's very important because ideally, me, Angel, and Natish would not have known each other because they are on the different programs, different tracks, but we still meet bi-weekly every month just because of the fact that we are part of a council. And I think it also grows your network. And one thing which we really emphasize here at UT Dallas is networking and meeting people on LinkedIn and reaching out to them. Even if some questions are there which can't be answered in these webinars, you can definitely reach out to us over LinkedIn. Look at our LinkedIn, look at our experiences, and ask us questions. We really help out people in the ways we can at all the platforms we can. And all the questions which you wouldn't find on the websites or someplace else. It really helps. Thank you.
Thanks, Radhi. Thanks, Angel. I mean, it's good that the first semester students are here to give them a little bit support. Natesh has been here long enough that, he's gotten used to the grinding work. This is not an easy course. I don't want to, dissuade anybody, but I can tell you that everybody who has come to the program has said, well, MSBA&AI is the most challenging course in JSOM, but it is very good. I'm not saying that because I'm the program director. I know the material, so I can tell you we have a challenging program, but if you put your effort in, we provide you all the resources you need. There are students who would like, if you don't reach out and say, I'm having difficulty in this class, I can't help you. Right? I'm not your mind reader. I have a student in the current semester who has reached out a couple of times because statistics is hard. And I have gotten that student help outside or even UTD because they were willing to get an outside help, online help to do that. So there are ways that we can help you. But the first step is you. You have to reach out. Okay. All right. It looks like everybody's questions has been answered. But again, as I said, please feel free to email our msbuan@utdallas.edu if you have any question, or you want to email me you want the DataCamp Pro account, then email me. I will send it to you after I confirm that you have enrolled. Okay? All right. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.